Everything looks good on my end. You ready to see if this thing actually works?
Let's do this.
You sure? Okay. Your part is simple. Just step onto the platform. I'll start scanning for an Institute signal to lock onto. Then, I fire her up and we see what happens. Getting cold feet? I don't blame you. Okay, hold real still. I don't want any corruption of the molecular beam. Oh yeah, by the way, I figured this was a golden opportunity to find out as much as we can about the Institute and what they're up to. Yeah, this holotape's all set with a program that will scan their network and download anything it finds. Uh-oh. Yeah, we better hurry. And don't worry about that tubing wiggling around. It's, just there for decoration. Okay. Scanning for the Institute signal. Tracking RF. And... got it. Hold on to your butt.
Hello? I wondered if you might make it here. You're quite resourceful. I'm known as Father. The Institute is under my guidance. I know why you're here. I'd like to discuss things with you face to face. Please, step into the elevator. I can only imagine what you've heard, what you think of us. I'd like to show you that you may have the wrong impression. Welcome to the Institute. This is the reality of the Institute. This place, these people, the work we do. For over 100 years, we've dedicated ourselves to humanity's survival. Decades of research, countless experiments and trials, a shared vision of how science can help shape the future. It has never been easy, and our actions are often misinterpreted by those above ground. Someday, perhaps, we can show them what we've accomplished. But for now, we must remain underground. There's too much at stake here to risk it all. As you've seen, things above are unstable. I'd like to talk to you about what we can do for everyone. But that can wait. You are here for a specific, very personal reason. You are here for your son.
Sean?
Huh? Yes, I'm Sean.
Sean? Oh my god. It's really you.
Who are you?
Sean.
Father, what's
It's
going
me.
on? What's happening?
I'm your dad. Yes.
What's going on?
It's me.
Father?
Your dad.
Father!
I'm here, Sean.
I don't know you.
It'll be okay,
Go
Sean.
away.
I'm
Father.
here now.
Father, help me! There's someone here, help me!
Please, Sean. I'm your father. Talk to me. Just open the door.
Father? Father, help me! He's trying to take me! Father? Father, help me!
Sean. S923, recall code Cirrus.
Don't have the key.
Fascinating, but disappointing. The child's responses were not at all what I anticipated. He's a prototype, you understand. We're only just now beginning to explore the effects of extreme emotional stimuli. Please try and keep an open mind. I recognize that you are emotional, and that your journey here has been fraught with challenges. Let's start anew. I am Father. Welcome to the Institute.
Give me Sean. The real Sean. Right now!
I know. I know. You've gone to such lengths to find him.
I want answers, asshole. Now.
Under the circumstances, I will forgive your vulgarity. But I need you to realize that this situation is far more complicated than you could have imagined. You have traveled very far, and suffered a great deal to find your son. Well, your tenacity and dedication have been rewarded. It's good to finally meet you, after all this time. It's me. I am Sean. I am your son.
Bullshit.
Is it? After all the things you've seen and experienced in the Commonwealth? Think about it. In the Vault, you had no concept of the passage of time. You were released from your pod and went searching for the son you'd lost. But then you learned that your son was no longer an infant, but a 10-year-old boy. You believed that 10 years had passed. Is it really so hard to accept that it was not 10, but 60 years? That is the reality. And here I am, raised by the Institute, and now its leader.
But why? Why take a child? Why take you?
Ah, now that's the question, isn't it? Why me? At that time, the year 2227, the Institute had made great strides in synth production. But it was never enough. Scientific curiosity and the goal of perfection drove them ever onward. What they wanted was the perfect machine. So they followed the best example thus far. The human being. Walking, talking, fully articulate, capable of anything.
So the weird science experiments needed specimens. That's why they took you.
In a manner of speaking. Yes. The Institute endeavored to create synthetic organics. The most logical starting point, of course, was human DNA. Plenty of that was available, of course. But it had all become corrupted. In this wasteland, radiation affected everyone. Even in their attempts to shield themselves from the world above, members of the Institute had been exposed. Another source was necessary. But then the Institute found me, after discovering records from Vault 111. An infant, frozen in time, protected from the radiation-induced mutations that had crept into every other human cell in the Commonwealth. I was exactly what they needed. And so it was my DNA that became the basis of the synthetic organics used to create every human-like synth you see today. I am their father. Through science, we are family. The synths, me, and you.
I don't believe you. There's no way any of this is true.
I wish there was something to say. I know this isn't what you wanted. But it's the only truth I can offer you.
You're my son? Then prove it. Now. I don't believe you.
I wish there was something to say. I know this isn't what you wanted. But it's the only truth I can offer you.
You're my son? Then prove it. Now.
I've already told you how I came to be here. I don't know what further proof I can offer that would convince you. I've shown you my trust. Your weapons haven't been confiscated, and I stand unarmed before you. Please, let's just talk.
All right. Let's talk then.
I know you must have questions. Please, anything I can do to help you understand.
Kellogg. He worked for you?
Kellogg. He was an Institute asset long before I arrived here. It wasn't until I became director that I learned of all the things he'd done. What kind of man he was.
You knew the man was a psychopath, but you used him anyway?
Would you have preferred that I turned him loose on the Commonwealth? At least keeping him on a short leash kept the collateral damage to a minimum. The Institute took advantage of Kellogg's vicious nature. I will freely admit that. Institute technology prolonged his life, and his usefulness far beyond any normal human lifespan. He never failed the Institute, but his cruelty became more apparent with every completed objective. I won't lie. It's no coincidence your path crossed his. It seemed a fitting way to allow you, us, to have some amount of revenge. What else can I say to ease your mind?
Your mother. She never got to see you grow up?
Yes. What happened to her was... I've gone over the records of the incident, of course. It seems her death was an unfortunate bit of collateral damage.
Collateral damage? Is that all she was to you?
I forget that it's been such a short time for you. I don't have any direct memories. And I've had my entire life to cope with the loss. Has it always been easy? Of course not. But I've done my best to move on and live my life. For many years, I never questioned who my parents were. I accepted my situation, and that was that. With old age comes regret. And asking what if more often. But what matters now is that you and I have a chance to begin again. What else can I say to ease your mind?
So you're in charge of the Institute?
I am the acting director, yes. I spent decades working to reach this point. It's a responsibility I take very seriously. The Institute. It's important. It really is humanity's best hope for the future, no matter what those above ground might think of us.
It doesn't matter what they think. What matters is what you do.
I'm glad we see it the same way. Ultimately, the Commonwealth has nothing to fear from us. Whatever you've seen or heard, I know I can convince you of that. Just give me time. I know there's more for us to discuss. But the Institute is on the verge of some important breakthroughs. Your presence would be appreciated as we approach them. I've been a part of something amazing here. I've helped to build a life for myself and the people of the Institute. And now, after all these years, you have an opportunity to help with that. Doesn't that intrigue you? Isn't that what you want?
You want me to stay here? In the Institute?
Yes, that is what I propose. Is it so hard to imagine? The Institute can provide a better life than anything above ground. You've been in the Commonwealth. You've seen what it's like. I assure you that you are better off with us.
Things are pretty terrible up there.
I've seen it myself. I know. And it's a life that you can now be part. I simply ask that you give the Institute, me. We really do have humanity's best interest at heart. Will you take that chance?
All right.
Thank you. The Institute is now your home, as much as it is mine. Please take some time, get to know it. Meet the people you'll be working with. You'll want to introduce yourself to the division heads. Dr. Fillmore in Facilities, Dr. Ao in SRB, Dr. Holdren in Bioscience, and finally Dr. Lee in Advanced Systems. They've all been notified of your arrival, of course. Meet them, and then we'll discuss what comes next.
It's an honor to have you
Almost
here,
done.
sir.
Just need to tighten up this primary drive servo.
That's the third primary drive breakdown this month. As far as I'm concerned, the phase-out on these older models can't come soon enough.
Oh, I don't
Doc.
know.
They weren't kidding.
Most of them have lasted
really
long
are
past
here.
their projected
Well, all right.
lifespans. If
I'm
you ask
Allie.
me,
Allie
they were
Filmer.
built pretty well.
You can think of me as the Institute's chief engineer. When Father told us about you, I could hardly believe it. You've been through so much, I think most people would have just given up. If you don't mind my asking, what was it that kept you going all that time?
I just wanted to find my son and keep him safe.
Now that you've found him, I hope you're proud of the great man he grew up to be. Now, I'll give you a quick rundown of the Facilities Division, and then I'll answer any questions you might have afterward. As you might guess, we keep the Institute's mechanical and electrical... We maintain and upgrade... There's a lot of the work we do. So, now that...
On board with what?
The Institute, of course. Sean implied you operated on a level, if not equal, and at least similar to the rest of us. Curious. If there's anything else you'd like to know about the Facilities Division, I'm happy to discuss it.
I'm good for now. Thanks.
Goodbye, then. Oh, I can't argue with that. Even so, I'm ready to see the full Gen 3 roll out.
There we go. All set.
No visible reaction to the K-14 compound. We'll start the next trial. The dosage will be much larger this time, and the side effects. Effects will likely be more pronounced.
Will there be any pain?
I honestly don't know. I suppose it's your job to find out. Now hold still. There. All done. You can return to your duties. And remember to record every symptom you experience in detail.
I hope I'll prove a useful test subject for you, Doctor.
Mm-hmm.
She's been at it for over 2 hours. What is she even testing?
Nothing. At this point, she's just doing it for fun.
Safety first. Remember that.
Well, that was productive.
Father has accomplished so much. I hope you can appreciate his work as we do.
Excuse me, Doctor?
Ah,
it's you. You're here then. Yes, I know who you are. We all do. While I'm sure Father is very happy that you're here, I do hope it doesn't interrupt our work.
Don't worry. I promise I won't get in your way.
Thank you, I do appreciate that. Oh, before I forget, let me see that Pip-Boy of yours. I've been told to install a Courser chip in it for you. Father's orders. You're to be given full access, with the ability to relay in and out of the Institute at will.
Thank you. I'm sure that'll come in handy.
Given that the relay is the only way to access the Institute, handy is something of an understatement. In case the significance is lost on you, you'll be the only one here with that kind of access. If nothing else, it should demonstrate the amount of trust Father has placed in you. Now, unless there's something else, I really do need to get back to work.
I'm good for now. Thanks.
All right.
It's really exciting having you here. I can't wait to see what you can do.
Is it true Food Supplement 77 has been discontinued?
That is correct.
That was my favorite one. Can't we keep it a little longer?
I will be happy to forward your request to the Bioscience Division. In the meantime, please feel free to enjoy one of our other nutritious and flavorful food supplements.
I want Supplement 77.
I am sorry, sir, but that supplement is no longer available.
We're all looking forward to working with you.
Greetings, sir.
Got it. That's it.
Standing down. Resetting threat level.
Yes.
Sensor alert. Anomaly detected. Contact.
Not yet. I've been reviewing Father's plans to expand our operations at Warwick. He's eager to get that going.
Hi, Doc.
I wonder how the Warwick
Welcome.
family is doing.
So good to have you here.
Young Wally
Dr.
must
Clayton
be close to
Holden,
10 years old by now.
Head of the I
It's
can't wait for
remarkable
you to
that
see
any
the work
child
we're
can
doing.
survive for so
It's
long
truly
up there,
amazing.
don't you think?
I'm sure it's fascinating, but that's not why I'm here.
Of course, I completely understand. Before you go, at least let me give you a brief, as the name implies, the Bioscience Division specializes in... Our most important directive is to ensure the health. To that end, we cultivate highly specialized breeds of... We've even started to explore the idea of synthetic animal life. You probably saw the gorillas. They're really just a pet project at this point.
Seems like there's nothing you guys...
With hard work, and I'm sure I've taken up enough of your time as it is.
I'm not sure how well I'll fit in, but I'd like to give it a try.
Great. In any case, I imagine you'll want to continue looking.
I'm good for now, thanks.
Take care, then.
Dr. Holdren's synth gorilla project is showing promising results. You're here. Glad you made it.
What? I'm not even doing anything.
Hi there.
You know the protocol, sir. Authorized personnel only.
So Dr. Ayo
All
thinks he
systems
can hide in
nominal.
his office.
I'm seriously thinking of heading over to robotics to knock some heads
Dr. Orman's
together.
lecture on cold fusion
They're
was
dragging
nothing
their
short
feet
of a
on the
revolution.
targeting package upgrades I asked for. Maybe I should take some courses with
Doctor.
So,
Please don't.
here
There's
you
enough
are.
friction as it is
Justin
between
Ayo,
us and
acting
pretty much
director of
all
the
the other
synth-
departments.
I'll be upfront with you. We're going to be keeping a close eye. Despite your relation to Father, I'm sure you understand. There won't be any issues, will there?
Why? Don't you trust me?
I'll be honest. You're an outsider. The first outsider to be allowed access to the Institute in quite a long time, in fact. There's little precedent for this situation, so it's only natural to take extra precautions, It's nothing personal, I assure you. Now, Father has asked that I provide you with a brief over... Our primary
Why would synths want to escape?
Synths do not want. They might look like human beings, but they're machines. As to why they're escaping? That our main instrument is the Courser, a third-generation synth assigned to operate on the surface. Coursers hunt down and reclaim synths. They are highly self-sufficient, trained in combat, infiltration, and tracking. In a word, our Coursers are relentless. But I gather you know all this, since you've encountered one already. In fact, I'd very much like to know how you defeated it.
I hate to break it to you, but your Courser wasn't all that tough.
Then it's likely the unit was defective. I suppose I'll have to ask robotics to perform detailed diagnostics on the entire... Now, unless you need something else, I'll get back to work.
I'm good for now, thanks.
Very well.
Reporting status. All functions normal.
You came to visit. I almost thought you wouldn't.
Most people are good at breaking things. I enjoy putting them back together.
Here's that holotape you gave me. Full of Institute data. I hope.
Well, all right. I'll start digging into this and see if I can make heads or tails of it.
What do you hope to find?
Whatever the Institute doesn't want anybody to know. All the good stuff on here is going to be encrypted. So the first job is to see if I can crack it. After that, well, I'll have to see what I've got. There's no telling what we might have grabbed off their mainframe.
Blue, you got a minute?
Sure thing.
Just what you said about Nat. I've been going over it again and again in my head, and what you said was right. Family's too precious. What kind of life is she gonna have if I never go near her again? It's just... sometimes it feels like the only things I've got in life are Nat and the paper. Having someone I can count on, someone like you, it's meant a lot to me. Not a lot of people want to hang around with the nosy reporter.
Yeah, but you're my kind of nosy.
You're the exception. I haven't exactly made a lot of friends in this career. I just wanted to right the things I thought were wrong. And when Nat and I first got to Diamond City, there was a lot of wrong. Crooked guards, lousy infrastructure. There was a hole in the exterior wall that was patched over with a bookcase. One bookcase. That's it. I started the paper more as an act of desperation than anything else. Turned out I wasn't the only one who wanted things to change. After the first couple of editions, people may not have agreed with what I said, but everyone was listening.
Sounds like you really cleaned up Diamond City.
Well, a lot of things got done. They even put a second bookshelf over that hole. And patched it with bricks. When that first edition hit the stands, I felt like I'd finally done something worth doing. But afterwards, things changed. People didn't want to talk the way they used to. Seemed that overnight I'd gone from being Piper, friend and confidant, to Piper, the nosy snoop. A lot of folks, they haven't treated me the same since. It started to feel like the only person I could count on was my little sis.
You can count on me, Piper.
I know I can. You're not afraid of me like everyone else. I was sure that the paper would be the best thing I ever did in my life, but being here with you now I don't know. I've needed someone like you in my life for a long time, Blue. I just never expected I'd actually get them. So thank you for being the friend I can count on.
It sounds to me like you're interested in becoming more than just friends.
Oh, I mean, I'd be lying if I said I never thought about you that way. Not that I'm always thinking that way. It's just, Blue, I'm loud and pushy and constantly getting in over my head. Why would someone like you ever want someone like me?
You don't need to be flawless, Piper. You're perfect for me.
Perfect, huh? That's a new one. Well, well, I think you're perfect too. Goodness, Blue, I don't know what to say. You're everything I could ever ask for. Come on, let's not keep the world waiting.
We don't usually welcome outsiders. I hope you can appreciate your good fortune.
Now that you've had a chance to see the Institute firsthand, what do you think?
You've got technology here that I never dreamed possible. It's amazing.
I'm glad you can appreciate what we've accomplished. None of it has been easy. Ultimately, all our knowledge and resources are focused on a single goal. The goal is best summarized by our motto: mankind redefined. Unfortunately, no advancement comes without occasional setbacks. As remarkable as our synths are, they can be dangerous without proper supervision. The superior synth mind and body attempting to wrestle with something approaching free will can be a recipe for chaos.
If the synths are intelligent and self-aware, then they have a right to free will.
However closely they may approximate human behavior, they are still our creations. When you see what I have to show you, I think you'll agree that we know what is best for our synths. A rogue synth has taken over the Raider gang at Libertalia. His memories have been erased, and his identity altered. He believes he's a man named Gabriel. Under his leadership, the Raiders have taken many innocent lives. I've dispatched a courser to Libertalia. I'd like you to join him and reclaim that synth.
It might not want to talk. It would be safer just to kill it.
That would be a terrible waste of a vet. If at all possible, that's it. Now you should get moving. Many people.
I'm ready to move in, sir.
You must be the courser I'm supposed to meet.
Yes, sir. Designation X688. I've already neutralized the perimeter guard. Just give the word, and we can start the assault on the main flotilla.
We're in this deep with the Institute
Thought
as
I heard
is.
something move.
Couldn't hurt to have someone with real combat training watching our backs.
You must be the courser I'm supposed to meet.
Yes, sir. Designation X688. I've already...
All right, let's go.
Right behind you, sir. Wait, did you hear something? Gotcha. Hold up a moment, sir. There's something important I need to tell you.
I'm listening.
I'm going to give you B592's reset code. If he hears the code phrase, it'll reset his cognitive processes and make him docile. You'll need to say B592 initialize factory reset, followed by the authorization code Gamma 71 Epsilon. Once he's shut down, I can transport him safely back to the Institute.
Good. I'd like to avoid any unnecessary violence.
And then we can safely get him out of this hellhole.
Well, he might not be alone up there. Violence might be inevitable. That's all, sir. Ready when you are.
Well
Judging
done.
by your gear, I'm
Very
gonna guess you
impressive.
two are agents
Just
of the
like
Institute.
me.
So, made it to the top. Is the Institute so desperate for resources that it's stealing plunder from honest, hard-working Commonwealth gangs?
B592, initialize factory reset, authorization Gamma 71 Epsilon.
Boss? Are you okay? Gabriel, can you hear me?
Place is nicer
Shit,
without
they
the
did something
raiders.
to him. Take them out.
Better make your peace. Nice work, sir. I'll take the sim back. This is X688, ready to relay with reclaim. B590.
We are honored to welcome you here.
I'm glad to see you return safely. I know the task was difficult, but I needed you to see firsthand.
Right. Gabriel and his gang were sick bastards, hanging their victims up like trophies. I'm just glad it's over.
While we can do nothing for Gabriel's victims, we can at least... But enough about that. I couldn't have hoped for a better outcome. Well done. While you were away, I had quarters prepared for you. You'll find all the basic necessities. Go and have a look. I think you'll be quite pleased.
Place is nicer without the raiders. Not much.
We are honored to welcome you here.
I'm glad to see you return safely. I know...
Right. Gabriel and his gang were sick.
While we can do nothing... But enough about that. I couldn't have hoped for a better outcome. While you were away, you'll find all the basic necessities. Go and have a look.
Remember to keep
Sir,
unnecessary
we've had another
power
situation. A code red.
What?
It must have slipped. I'm afraid I had too much work.
We think there was a system glitch. We're looking into it.
It's okay. I'll make it out.
All for now. You can resume your duties.
Greetings. As the Institute's requisition vendor, I can provide supplies for your missions on the surface. How may I assist you today?
Hi, mister.
You're clearly defective, and I intend to report this. Perhaps after you've been disassembled, we can use your components to make something that's actually useful. Synths aren't human beings, but supposedly they're the future of humanity. I'll never understand it.
Your new quarters are here, sir. Standing by for orders.